Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button to see when new videos are posted. And the topic of this video is talking about government, how it's run, and my philosophy on it. Okay? I feel two quotes sum up my view of how I view government should be. And one of them is called, "That which governs best governs least." And how I interpret this quote, for me at least, is the best type of government to run is ones that is mostly hands-off. It governs least. People are free to live and their life how they want with little government interference. So the government that's best is the government that is least in your life in terms of interfering, in terms of being involved. You know, just like the government shouldn't be in your way and causing you problems and just taking all your money. They should also let you be free, but also not responsible. If you screw up, if you make a lot of mistakes, you shouldn't run to the government for help either. You know, you're on your own. And the government is needed just little, you know. But more and more, Democrat, Republican, is this overreach of power to be in people's lives all the time. And I don't like that. And the second quote that sums up my view of government is, "Walk softly and carry a big stick." And how I view that is similar, that government should not interfere in people's lives. It should walk softly, but also set a rule, a fair rule, that if you cross this line, you know, you'll be like whipped back into shape. In other words, don't cross this line or else you'll get it. You know, don't interfere, don't be involved in people's lives, or just let people be free with little interference, okay? But there has to be some rules because there would be chaos otherwise. So there has to be some fair structures in terms of business, especially in terms of the military, in terms of protecting society. And you got to let other nations know, you know, like, you can't cross this line or you'll get it, you know. So you walk softly, you don't interfere, you let people live freely, but there has to be a line that people know, but it's fair, you know, way out there, not close to people, you know, not involving people directly, but, you know, just stay away from people really, let them be free, but also set that line, that barrier, but it should be fair between everyone, rich and poor, and anyone in between. And that's how government should be, you know. But the truth is, you know, they say that society is quote-unquote free, but you're really not. You are taxed so much in everything you do. Consumption tax, you want to buy some food, you want to eat out, this and that, all these nickel and dimes add up. And the way the system is structured is that you're just basically a worker bee, you know. What is the difference in society between the days of Egypt, for example, and way back then when, let's say, you had the pharaoh or the king and his small circle living the high life, living fantastic, you know, really living it up. And then you had all the people at the bottom, the slaves, the poor, the masses, who were just struggling to survive. Now compare that now in society. You have the politicians, the super wealthy, the Hollywood types, these millionaires, whatever, living the high life, breaking laws or doing things that an average person would spend decades in prison for, but they get away with it because they're politicians, because they're connected. living like kings, living better than kings, because the kings had to worry about people betraying them from behind and taking power. In today's society, the politicians, etc., they don't have to worry about that really, right? And they preach, they want to bring in all of these, like, people and immigration and all these issues, right? But they themselves, these politicians, they live in gated communities that are all white, and as soon as diversity happens in their community, they will run away. They live in mansions, they have security guards, they don't travel, they have chauffeurs driving them, jet planes. These politicians living the high life on both sides of the party, okay? And again, with their rich friends, their well-connected CEOs, these billionaires, who get these tax loopholes that they pay like almost nothing or a small percent compared to the average citizen. And then, and then you have the mass of society struggling to get by, and the super poor and those without money who might as well be slaves. It's no different. How is modern society different than Egypt or the old societies of the kings? In my view, it's not that different. You're not really free. You think you are, but you're not. It's no different than that. You had the small percent at the top living it up, and the rest of the masses struggling to get by. Am I wrong? This is how I view it. I'm just throwing it out there, okay? I don't see much difference than society back then and modern society. In America, at least. I'm not sure about other countries, since I don't live there. I do know from studies, America does not have the happiest people. It does not have the best healthcare. It does not have the best education system in terms of the youth. Even though we spend the most money, and this is society. As for the presidency, I personally view it as the people who control the government in the world, or the shadow government as they call it. The behind the scenes players. You don't know what they look like. They're not famous. They don't seek attention. They are super billionaires or trillionaires, like the Rockefeller family, like the Rothschild family. These secret societies you hear about, like the Bilderbergers, or the Illuminati, the Freemasons, all of these people at the top, right? They are the ones controlling. You really think that a president, okay, for 4 or 8 years is freely elected, and that 4 or 8 years someone else with a totally different agenda could get into power to steer society? That is chaos. Because one person will go one way, then 4 or 8 years later, a guy might want to change society completely because he has a different view of it. No. Society is so complicated to run that you can't rely on government that one person could be there for a couple of years and the other person can totally change the system. No, I personally believe that they are puppets, they are figureheads, and there's a line. They have a certain amount of freedom, and there is a line that they could get away with. But if they cross that line, they will do to the president what they did to Kennedy. And you know what happened to him. You cross that line, you cross that barrier, that's what's going to happen to them. And so they don't cross the line. The president is a controlled puppet who has some freedom, but he is put in his place if he crosses a certain line. And that's how I view the government. That's how I view society. That's how I view the presidency, on either side. So that's my view on it. Well, let me know what you think. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, comment, and talk to you later.